Alright guys, so in this video I'm going to be updating you guys on the mid-November 2022 PvP arena tier list for Cookie Kingdom. And of course, once again, I do want to let you guys know, like always, that this tier list is going to be based on my experience as well as my opinion. And of course, for each of the server, there may be some differences, but mainly all of the meta comps are going to be based on what we are using inside of the pure vanilla server within the Grandmasters and the higher master area. Alright, so here we go guys, let's get into it. We do have Macaron cookie added into the tier list as well as the updated version of Werewolf with the magic candy added. So here we go, let me get into it guys. Let's start out with the absolute meta right now, and that is going to be, of course, starting off with Black Pearl, Captain Caviar, Espresso with the magic candy, Clotted Cream, Eclair, Financier, Brute, Purple Yam with the magic candy, as well as BTS. So these cookies are going to be like the absolutely most used cookies inside of the arena. They are going to be making up like 60 to 80% of the teams that you guys will see inside of the higher ranks. You know, the combos with Black Pearl, Captain Caviar together, or Black Pearl with Espresso together, or even like a Black Pearl, Clotted Cream, Eclair together, and things like that. And of course, the tanks are going to be mainly with Financier as the main supportive tank, and then you're gonna have someone like Purple Yam, Brute, and maybe even someone like Werewolf now that is going to be used inside of the arena alongside Financier. Of course, for the main healer right now, BTS is going to be using about 90% of all of the teams with the damage resist as well as shield buff when you do have some debuffs on your team, as well as a built-in debuff resist and healing that you are able to do with their skill. All BTS members are going to have the same exact stats as well as skills, so you guys are able to choose between whichever one you guys want to use, as well as their skill is always going to follow their level, so you guys don't need to use any skill powders in order to upgrade their skill as well. That's the reason why BTS is so good right now inside of the arena. And of course, they are going to be safeguarded, which means that they do not need to have any damage resist. Alright, so that's going to be the absolute meta right now. Pretty solid right now. It hasn't really changed since October. Clotted Cream is really kicking it right now with a lot of Financiers and a single tank comps being inside of the arena. So now let's move on to the SS tier, and that is going to be Sorbet, Vampire. We do have Werewolf with a magic candy now, Caramel Arrow, Cotton, Cream Unicorn, Wildberry, as well as our Dark Cacao. So these cookies are going to be kind of situational nowadays. They are still going to be used greatly within the arena alongside some of the meta cookies, but they are going to be more situational. Like Vampire is going to be very situational. You guys can use it inside of a burst comp or like a very slow chip away comp where you guys use double tank Vampire alone and then 2 healers. So that's kind of a comp we have seen in the past, but it's not going to be absolutely meta, but still very strong. That's the reason why I still have that SS rank for some of you guys who are still confused. They are very good, alright, but they're not going to be used every single time like meta, alright? And the Sorbet is also very situational right now. Alongside someone like Clotted Cream, you guys can replace Clotted Cream with someone like Sorbet in order to deal with a lot of the double tank comps that we guys see. Of course, it's going to be more situational once again because they are geared towards dealing with tanks, alright? So that's the reason why. And the Werewolf Magic Candy right now is super strong, but they are more offensive and needs to be with a lot of the other tanks and supports like BTS as well as Financier in order to survive and deal the damage that they are meant to do. All right, it's going to be based on how much injury they are able to give to the enemies as well as the final strike at the end. So that is the reason why I would say Werewolf is very strong, but not like absolutely meta, all right, because it is going to be based on a lot of the teams, and Werewolf can't be plugged in everywhere and then it will work out. All right, they do need to be in a specific team. Caramel Arrow as well, very strong, DPS as well as doing damage based on max HP, but still going to be kind of a situational cookie right now rather than a absolute meta like before because of the utilization of BTS, who is able to utilize the 3 arrow stacks, and then you're going to be able to get the shield and the damage resist. So Caramel Arrow is going to be used less often, but still a very strong cookie. Same thing with Cotton as well as Wildberry and Dark Cacao. They're very strong, but they do get replaced by someone like Brute, Financier, Purple Yam, as well as BTS. And in Cream Unicorn 2, Still very strong healer, still very good at healing and giving the damage resist, but BTS will do a little bit better, especially if you guys are focusing more towards the offensive side of things, because BTS does not need damage resist while Cream Unicorn does. And now moving on to the S tier, they're still going to be very strong cookie, but more of a very situational and going to be within like specific teams. And that is going to be Macaron cookie, as well as Squid Ink with the magic candy, pumpkin pie, crunchy chip, oyster, sea fairy, as well as rye. Alright, so these cookies are going to be seen here and there inside of the arena, but with specific teams. Like Macaron is going to be used with that kind of burst team that I shared with you guys previously, as well as Squid Ink, going to be a good DPS, but not going to be as strong as some of the other like burst DPSs right now that we have, like Black Pearl, Captain Caviar, Espresso, and so on. So they are still good, but not as good as them. And then Pumpkin Pie, all the summoners right now, the Pumpkin Pie, Crunchy Chip, Oyster, they're good, but they're always going to be only mainly for the summoners. As well as Seafair and Rye are still very good burst DPSs. Rye with the Magic Candy, especially with the burn damage and the attack speed buff, but they are still going to be more of a situational cookie rather than a main meta cookie. Alright, now moving on to the A tier, they're really just like, you know, okay cookies to use if you guys don't have any of the meta SS or S tiers. And that is going to be Herb with the pomegranate. We have Parfait, Pure Vanilla, Milk with the Magic Candy, Hollyberry, Affogato. We got Almond, as well as Frost Queen and Red Velvet. They're very situational. They're still good in some of the areas that they excel at. For all the healers that we have going on, you know, some people might argue that Herb is not a good healer, but they still are going to be a great healer. Even though, even though there may be someone like Black Pearl, not everybody inside of the arena right now, especially in like the lower ranks, are going to have Black Pearl. They're still going to have like someone like Camel Arrow. They're going to have someone like, you know, Summoner comps in here and there. So you guys can still utilize Herb inside of your team. Pomegranate, Parfait, Pure Vanilla is still a very good healer / supports, as well as some of the tanks and situational cookies like Affogato and Almond, and Frost Queen and Red Velvet. Next one is going to be our B tier, and that's going to be T-Night, Strawberry Crate, Kumio. We have Black Raisin, Candy Diver, Cherry Blossom. We have Cocoa, Mint Choco, Latte, Twizzy Gummy, Cream Puff, Moon Rabbit, as well as Sparkly. So these cookies can be used, but not recommended. They are going to be at the B tier. And the next one is going to be C tier. It's going to be our Licorice, Pastry, Lilac, Dark Choco. We have Tiger Lily, Raspberry, Madeline, Mallow Sauce, Mango, Poison Mushroom, as well as Snow Sugar. So these cookies are going to be less seen inside of the arena. Maybe Dark Choco is going to be still seen here and there because of the fact that he is still used within like the Red Velvet Dragon, as well as the bosses inside of the PvE, which is World Exploration. But rest of them are going to be real like placeholders for any of the other, you know, ranked cookies, so they're not going to be seen as often as any of the other cookies. And then last tier is going to be, of course, don't use one, and that is going to be Chili Pepper, as well as Sonic, Tails, and Fig. Fig is always going to be in there, and rest of them I kind of place in there to make the tier list a little bit more compact. Anyways, guys, that's gonna be it for this tier list. Hope you guys found it helpful. Let me know down in the comments below what you guys think about the tier list. If you guys have any additions, you guys want to change anything, you guys can always leave it down in the comments below and we can discuss it if there's anything like that. Anyways, guys, once again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys all on the next one.